One of the most fun things about my job is being able to crown, like we did this year with Bob, the Citizen of the Year. It seems to be a unique surprise every year I've done it. And this year had to have been the most fun because as we were sneaking up to crown Bob, he had spilt a drink on himself. And so we had to go back into hiding. We were laughing behind a vehicle. Heidi came out of the Lions meeting and let us know that he was then seated. And we came in banging our drums. You guys probably seen the video. But he still had no idea it was him. They had all the past Citizens of the Year stand up. Bob was still standing, so we thought Kathy had told him ahead of time. You know, I just love the way they represent the city and spending time with them and watching them get all the accolades for all the work that they've put in. So I love Citizen of the Year, and congratulations, Bob.
We've known Bob for 25 years since our kids were in kindergarten at Nisswa School together.
I think what's special about Bob is the fact of how he has loved this community since the day he ever got here. We hear stories all the time about the Lake Association and the different things that he's done for the environment around here, let alone how we know him personally through our Lions Club and for the stuff that he does for me at Outreach. I think the day that he got here, he embraced this community and just dove in head first to be a servant. Well, now that I've had my name added to that list a year ago, it's interesting when you look back at the names of the people that are on the roster, and it's pretty amazing to think that in 35-ish people have been selected for this award along the way, and just the different things that they have done for the community on their journey. I think it's probably one of the best honors that somebody could ever get for loving this little town the way that we do.
Well, we're in the Nisswa Lions Club with Bob, and our motto is "We serve." And Bob truly is a picture of that motto. He doesn't have to be asked. He just jumps in. Hey, what do you need? Where do you need me? How long do you need me? Is there anything else I can do for the good of the cause? And I think that is a great attitude. He's always had that attitude as long as I've known him.
So for me, Bob helps out a little bit at the outreach program. And it's kind of that same thing that Terry mentioned. All you have to do is text him and say, hey, what are you doing next Monday? Do you have an hour for me? Yep. Hey, do you think you could come on Thursday and help us unload a truck? Yep. Very seldom do I ever get a no. And if I get a no, it's just because he's busy doing something else already. One of the things that I think we've heard a lot, maybe not personally experienced, is all of the work that he has done out at Ski-Gull. And we just wonder how many 6th grade kids ever learned to ski because of Bob Reichenbach. It's got to be thousands of kids that he has taught how to ski. I think he's kind of like a silent warrior. He just is there. He just shows up. He doesn't give you attitude. Like Terry said, he just steps in. He's just there. So I think a lot of people probably assumed his name was on that plaque a long time ago. And when we take it very seriously every year as we look at people that we think deserve that honor. And one of the things that comes out is he's so well-rounded of all of the things that he's done. It's not just one thing he loves. He loves everything about Nisswa.
Even though our families were deeply tied together from our grandparents on, Bob and I really didn't connect until we were in our mid-20s, and that was up here in Nisswa. Even though we went to the same schools, same church, grew up a few blocks from each other, we just didn't hang out. I really feel that he found his passion at Ski-Gull, doing the Learn to Ski program. And that eventually led to his involvement with the National Ski Patrol. And as far as the Lions go, he was bartending there and loved the messaging he was hearing with the Lions Club and decided, this is an organization I could really get into. I was so happy and surprised but I was just happy that he was recognized by the community as well as his peers. It's been really fun. He is so humbled by it, and he's been out and about, and total strangers have come up to him and said, "Hey, aren't you?" And it's just given him a real lift in his step. It's very fun to see.
Well, I grew up in South St. Paul, Minnesota, and came up here because my grandmother had a cabin. My grandparents first came up here in 1934, and our family would spend the summer at Grandma's cabin. There was five of us kids in our family, and a couple cousins next door, and the fellow next to them had a half dozen grandchildren that were up, so we pretty much had a kids gang block party on the lake all summer. It was just so ideal. I couldn't believe it. I was always hesitant to go back to, excited to go back to school, but really missed leaving the cabin. My grandfather and his brother bought neighboring lots on Middle back in 1934, and it just progressed. This is such a beautiful place, such a welcoming town. Ended up at this point, I have 13 relations on Middle Cullen. I married off of Middle Cullen, but I didn't go too far. I'm on Clark Lake. Kath and I and our son Jake, who now lives in Washington. He's a teacher out there in Bellingham. Well, I was going to school at UMD at the time, still couldn't stay away from here, so I came here and worked in the summertime with my cousin Tommy Woog up in Cross Lake. He had a construction outfit at the time, and after back and forth a couple of times, I decided I just did not want to be anywhere else but here anymore. So I moved permanently in '71. Spent a few years doing odd jobs. I was a carpenter, I was a bartender. Raked leaves, did whatever I could just to be able to stay here. Oh, I was a part-time at the pickle factory, and Wayne Van Vliet, who was the manager at the time, who was also a Lion, asked if I wanted to attend bar for their meetings at the community center. So I was tending bar for their meetings, and it didn't take very long to figure out this is a great club. The things they did for our community, statewide, nationwide, internationally, it was just a good organization. And the fact that they return over 90% of what they collect goes straight back out. They're not supporting a country club or whatever. It was just a giving organization. I liked that. It was and always has been just a great group of people trying to help other people. At the time, I was working at Klaus Stamping, and they offered $100 towards whatever you wanted to do, like join the Y, do something physical. And I had been skiing a couple of times, and at the time, Ski Gull had a season pass for only about $125. So I thought, what the heck? Started out skiing out there every chance I got and trying to get better at it. And Mary Claire Ryan, who started the 6th grade Learn to Ski program, approached me and said, since you're out here all the time anyway, why don't you help us out? That's how I kind of got started. I helped with the Learn to Ski program for a few years, and that really got me hooked on the fact that a community hill can offer so much to the kids, to the locals. So I just started being out there and helping every chance I could. Back when Carrie Dayton was the director out there at the time, and I approached her with the idea of doing a ski-a-thon type of thing to help raise funds for the Learn to Ski program and maintenance, et cetera, And it turned into a fairly successful program for a dozen or so years, which made me feel real good. We helped a lot of kids, helped the Hill. Like I say, being out there, just seeing how much it is an asset to the local families. I frequently see 2 and 3 generation families out there. Got to know Sean and Terry Hansen through Lions, and we were just kind of approached, wanted to help with an odd thing here and there, and it seemed pretty straightforward, spend a few hours helping some others. We got into some food packs, helped deliver meals to areas. It's just another good example of the local people helping others. I was shocked, more than surprised. Just nowhere in my wildest dreams did anything like that pop up. And it's a pretty dang high bar. I'm not sure if I'm if I can breathe the same air as some of the other recipients have done. It's just I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's a very humbling, and I don't know. Now I have to be a good guy all the time. I can't fool around. It's just, this is a marvelous community. It's obviously probably one of the prettiest places in the world you could live, and the people match up.
Hey Dad, Jake here. I'm probably one of the last appreciation videos to get put on, and I will keep this brief because I'm sure you are already embarrassed enough and trying to hide from the recognition that you're getting. But I will say this. You deserve this award, and you have been deserving of this award. You have put countless hours into the community in the city of Nisswa, and it is so cool to see that recognition finally happen. We were talking the other day about how it's the people who seek recognition the least that are generally the most deserving, to which you quickly pivoted to talking about Mom and Mother's Day, which only helped prove my point a little bit more. And I will say this, there's a lot more that I could say, but doing so over video just wouldn't do it justice. Some things are better left to be said in person. I'll see you soon.